Conversion operators, we're going to see of LINQ. So we have a TOLIST operator that takes the element from a given source and it will return a new list. So in this case, input will be converted to a type of list. Type means class of list. So the syntax basically which is used is, you can see if you have countries can be an array, you can convert it to a list. And TOLIST method returns a list, list of generic type. You can see that. So in this above syntax, we're converting countries collection to a list using the list TOLIST operator of LINQ. We can see an example of it. These examples are pretty straightforward. All right, we have an array, and this can be converted to a list of generic type. You can see that. If I get the type of it, we'll get the type as it's a. If you run this at this point of time, let's see. Okay, it's there. You can see it belongs to the collections.generic.list. Okay. And this is where you're converted to a list. The reference variable is result. Get the type of it, and just comment this portion. Do a differentiator of the results. Otherwise, there will be confusions. Made this as a startup project. You have to list. This is precisely converting it to a list. Okay, you can see that. And comment also. Yeah. After converting, if we get the type of it, then it will tell you that it has been converted to a list. System.collection, the generic list. And this is as a query syntax. Number one is a method syntax out here. We should use the TOLIST method. Here we are using query and then a method selection. So from X in the country is 1, select X, and the value of X, select X will be converted to a list, and that will be put to a result 1 reference variable. And then you can use a for each loop to iterate over the result 1, which contains a list of countries, and that is conversion of an array to a list. That's a query syntax. You can use any one of them. You can use a method syntax or a query syntax to get it.
Right.
Okay, next part is the TOARRAY method. So you can understand this will be used to convert to an array. Input elements were collections in the collection to array. Elements in a collection to an array. That's what it will do. Syntax is TOARRAY method directly. This is a method method syntax. Query syntax can be also applied out here. So let's see it. Okay. This is the query syntax, right? Convert it to a list of generic type strings.
Is there a difference between a list and an array in C sharp?
Hey, pardon?
Is there a difference between a list and an array in C sharp?
See, list is going to basically take it's a generic type, so it's basically kind of if I understand it, it can take up mixed data with what we do, new list of strings.
Hmm.
So if you run this is converting to an array and putting it to a string array and iterate over the items of the array with the for loop for each method, for each loop rather. So you can see it. So at this point of time, if you refer this CW country start type of it. After conversion, the type of this.
Okay.
Actually, you can see that this is class. Calculate this. It should be a array. This class and array type. You can see that
Okay.
string it is. So that is what you can do with the TOARRAY, and you can also use the query syntax out here. You just have to use the query parameter at this particular point inside the parentheses, and then use the selection method to convert it. You can have the same list to be utilized here. Then convert it to let's say country is one. Convert it to array. Then iterate over the items in the array. More of the same query syntax. All right, so next let's go to TOLOOKUP operator. So TOLOOKUP operator is use an extension method used to extract a set of key value pairs from the source. Here each element in the resultant collection is a generic lookup object. Lookup object shows the key and the subsequent items that match with the key. Syntax will be Here is the syntax of using the links to lookup operators to return the collection of the key value pair. So this will to look up department. So in the above syntax, we will see we are converting a collection of object employees to key value pairs list using the lookup operator. So it is actually an extension method and used to extract a key value pair from a source. The source can be anything. It can be array, it can be a collection, whatever it is. So let's see an example to justify it. So I have a class employee which has three properties with the get and set method. Properties name, department, and country. You can see this. And I have a list of employees. You can see and create an object of the new employee class object. You can see this is also an employee class. It's a list of employee right now. Okay.
Yep.
And I've given the name, department, and country. So all are of string type, returning strings. So I'm setting the values out here. You can see that. And then look up where X is equal to department. So based on department, you're looking up. Okay.
TOLOOKUP.
You can
Oh,
see to
wow,
look
okay.
method. This is where I'm passing on the lambda expression. It's a method to which is used to print the value of the data in the pair collection of items, hash collection of items. It will print out these two lines grouping employees by the department. So grouping employees by the department. Now key value pairs, if you want to, so it basically creates, understand it, used to extract a key value pair from the source. Now, if you want to get the key value pair, you have to use, if you look at, I've used in the for each loop, uh, a, a key value pair. This is basically a grouping. It's, you can see I grouping interface. Okay. If you just hover your mouse, I grouping interface in the employee, uh, in the employee. Okay. And then get the key from the key value pair. Okay. And after that, look up employees by the department. So if you look at items in, you are putting the key to get the value from your employees. So where is the employer? So you're getting the key and the value of the key like this. So value of the key again by the key only. So you want to get the value of this. So this will have key value pair. So for the outermost for each loop is to get the key using the key property of the key value pair. And the innermost for each loop is to get the values of the key. How do you get the values of the key? Call the EMP and pass out the keys. This will give you the values of the keys. Here it will give you uh, then the item name, item department, and the item country. Okay, let me differentiate the answers. So I'm basically looking up by the department. You can see that. And that was kept in the employee to look up the department section. And then you will see that the keys are coming, and based on the keys, the value of the keys are also coming. So what are those? We'll see that right now. So if you look at this is the key, IT is the key, and these are the values of the key.
Okay.
So you can see this is the key, and then you see. So what are the keys based on the department? IT is one key, marketing is one key, HR is a key, sales is a key, operations is a key, and those keys are seen out here: IT, marketing, HR, sales, operations. All right, and then you're getting this by the key value pair in the employee object. and then you're getting the key. So that's the console result, right? That is the printout of the keys. And then the inner for each loop is going to the values of the keys. So based on the values of the key, so EMP of, for example, EMP of IT. So IT, who is what is the name of the person who is in IT department, and what is the department, that is IT department, what is the country to which the particular person belongs. So that is why these names are coming. Similarly, the next key will be your marketing. So value of marketing. So value of marketing is basically value of marketing. You're getting these. If you want to see something like this, Control C. I grouping, you can see. So I is equal to this, and then I can show you this. What is this I? So items in I actually. So let's run this. I will comment this inner for each loop. You can see these are the values of these are the key value pairs. So marketing, HR, so these are the values of the keys. All right. These are the values of the keys. The system.link, lookup to grouping system, employee one marketing, employee one HR and all. Those are the values.
Yeah.
So those values are passed out here. Those values are passed. Where is that? Yeah, those values are passed out. And that's what you're getting. This is just for your reference. In the same manner, I can use the query syntax out here. Same list, guys, and that's the only thing that is being utilized to look up by the same department. The for each loop remains constant. All right. So here is a list of employees. You define the name, department, country, and you're looking up by the for employees in the employee one. Select the employee. The value of the employee will be based on department. And then you want to get the value of the employee, key value pairs. Use the key value pairs key method, key property to get the keys. Keys will be based on the department, and then the values of the keys. Values of the keys will give you the name, department, and the country. So there's the query part. Query syntax. Okay, next part is the cast method. The cast operator is used to cast or convert all the elements present in the collection into a specified data type of new collection. In case we try to cast or convert different types of element, that is string and integer in the collection, then the conversion will fail and will throw an exception. Okay, so we'll cast and convert all the elements present in the collection in a specified data type. If you try to cast or convert different types of element in a collection, then the conversion will fail. So it should have a collection of same type. If you have a collection of different types, okay, different types precisely means something like this. So for example, this is a list. Let's say a list. The class, yeah, I can write it out here. A list of generic, okay. So list of strings and list of integers, a list of, we can have list of objects also. obj is equal to new list of object, and then you can define the values, which can be a number and then a string. Let's say 5. This is a heterogeneous list. Now casting it, so remember this is a list of objects. That means it can have any type of object, integer object, or it can be a string object. So I cannot use the cast method to cast objects of different kind items. That means different types of items it is right now. I cannot use the cast. Casting can be done. We have a list of integers. That means all the items are integers converted to a string. All the items are string converted to an integer. That's what it means. The cast operator. So you can see it out here. 20. So if you look at here, I have used not generic type of collection, just simple collection, array list. Array list is a class.
Oh, okay.
Okay, array list is a class. You can see I have not used generic collections. I've just used system.collection. All right, and I have used the add method to add items to the array list. Items which are added are USA, Australia, UK, and India. And now I would like to cast it to a string. Return, it will be returning a I enumerable of strings, and then you can iterate over it. Or cast it, or let's say I have an array list of, for example, copy this. I'll call this as of num, add numbers. As a list of numbers. Can I cast this to a string? Yes, I can cast it to it. That is what casting will do, not cast. All this will be converted. And I iterate over the items of the enumerable result. Result 1. So this will be converted to a string. So let's, and how do I know it is converted to a string? So you can use CW once more. You can find an item dot get type. It'll let you know. And here, if you obviously here, if you understand what is the item out here, type of item, this should give you CW obj dot
Is there a toString method?
add count to array add. Get type or a list of numbers. Invalid cast is unable to cast the object of system in32 of type to string.
Wait,
Exception is getting thrown out. And line number 53. Line number 53 is this. And that is coming for it. See, it is showing you array list for that. So for USA it is. For this, you can say it is showing you array list. Somewhere it was showing you. Not this one. No, not this. It's on this one. So you can see system.collection.array list. And it is system.string it is showing you. What is shown as system.string? Get the type of the item. So has it been converted to string?
I think it happens when you try to cast, right?
Yeah.
So at line 50.
Probably if I convert it to itself a string, then it will not be a problem. Array list 120 string type. Okay, let's move. Of type. Of type operator is used to return elements of a specific type, and another elements will be ignored from the list of it, and other elements will be ignored. So of type, the syntax of type LINQ operator is to get the specified type of elements from the collection list. So in the other syntax, we are trying to get only the string elements of the collection obj by using the of type. We're getting of type strings from the items in a collection. We can use of type, not of list of type. So it's an array list again, adding the items by using the add method of the array list class. Of type method will return the value only the specific type. So I want of integer type. It will not return this. You can see it's in array list can have heterogeneous data.
Yeah.
And there's an integer out here. So if you are using of type strings, I'm going to get only these. Okay, let's run this to check out. See, I've got Australia, India, UK, and US. Now, if I say that of type integer, I'm gonna get only one.
Yeah.
And this should return of integer type. One. So this is straightforward kind of. And then we have the as enumerable. method. So as enumerable method is used to convert specific type of given list to a I enumerable equivalent, right? So syntax is something like this: as enumerable, and this will return a given list to a I enumerable type, equivalent type. So in this above syntax that you see, we are converting a list of number arrays to a I enumerable type. Example of using a LINQ as an enumerable method to convert a list to I enumerable. We'll see that also. Create that somewhere. Yeah, this one. Make this as a startup project. Okay, it's a number array. After applying the as enumerable method, the output will store in a variable result. Converting the list of arrays, number arrays to I enumerable type by using the as enumerable method. This returns I enumerable type. You can see that. And for each loop is used to get all the items as a result. Variable. You can run this. This is as I enumerable type. So that's basically, if you use CW result dot get type. I enumerable is an interface, so it will not give you a class name.
So it converts it to the enumerable type.
In 32 array. So see, I enumerable, this converts it to I enumerable interface. So get type method is used to get the class to which this reference is pinpointing to, which class it belongs to. This belongs to the integer array class. This result will not belong to a class because the result of this or the return of this method, it is returning. You can just hover your mouse. I enumerate, it's an interface. You cannot instantiate an interface. So you cannot have a class of the interface. Interface is an interface byte, so that's why you will not get the result of the get type method. If you're using the get type method for the interface like this is the interface. Stupid answers you will get. You can see both time it is telling you int 32 array. You should not use this actually, because I enumerable is the interface. Can't get a class of it. It's interface by itself. Okay, to dictionary method. So the to dictionary method is used to convert items for list collection, okay, to a new dictionary object, dictionary with a generic type, key and value pair. It will optimize the list collection item by required values only. Syntax is this, for example, this data source is converted to dictionary, where you're passing on a key as ID and value as name.
I see.
In this syntax, we're converting the collection of object student to a dictionary object and getting the only required field values ID and name. So see this. The to dictionary method. Yeah, this is the to dictionary method. All right. So there's a class of students which has given set properties of ID, name, gender, and location. So you're creating a list of students out here. With the student class object, you are defining the IDs, names, gender, and location of those students. And then from here, you're using that to dictionary method. We're converting the collection of information into a form of dictionary, and that will fetch only the required information. So this is the data source to dictionary, where I've used lambda operations or lambda expressions where I get the ID and the name. Okay, and then use the for each loop to iterate over the key value pair. So the key is we're getting the key by the key property from stud and value property of stud. You can see the ID and the name will